You are? Man, you do everything, don't you? So cool.
When you need a bit of loving, 'cause your gal is out of town.
This is Lily and Pearl.
That's the time you're getting me running, and you know I'll be around.
How are you, Mary Lee? How you holding up? You had a big trip right before.
Oh, yeah.
I watch you everywhere you go.
I don't want
Hey, Jen.
to do your dirty work.
So we have... Mary Lee, are you in the East Bay or in the city?
To do your dirty work. Oh, yeah.
And Jim's? Are you done with work for the night, Jim? It looked wonderful. I know. Wow, thank you.
Put the lock
Who else is
up
here?
on the door.
San Francisco. Okay.
You have sent the maid home early.
I'm in Michigan right now. I'm missing the 510 and the 415 for sure. Hi, Cookie.
In a medieval game, I foresee terrible trouble, and I stay here just the same.
Sorry.
I don't want
Hi, Karen. Hi, Richard.
No more.
I'm getting a text from our guest tonight. Hi, Mary Judas. Wow, all that ironing you did today? 50? Did you do 50 shirts today? 50 shirts today? Girl. Paul McCandless.
I'm a fool to do.
I have to... Oh, man. What am I doing? I didn't mean to do that. I'm a little discombobulated tonight.
Your dirty work. Oh, yeah.
You did no ironing. Hi, Chuck. I can't believe I didn't see you today. Hi, Curtis Palmer. My goodness gracious. How many years has it been? High school. Hi, Bridget. Right here, we listen to this part, right? That is on my record, Dirty Work, my second CD, Meant to Be. I lied. That's on my record, Meant to Be, and the song is Dirty Work. You got I was in Maine. Hi, Ruth Love. Hi, Bridget. Hi, Cynthia. So, my guest tonight, our guest tonight, is a dear, dear, dear friend, dear brother of mine, and many of you out there, Mr. Mark Ruffin. And I asked him, I said, what song of mine do you really like? Because I got a little slap today because I was playing Bill Withers, but I had to play Bill Withers today. I'm much better, thank you very much. Hi, Dave Love. I'm much better. I'm getting there. I have my tea. I have my vitamin C. Hi, cousin. I talked about you last night. So, I'm not going to take up any more time because I want to get this man... Oh, shoot. I have to call him on another number. Hey, Cookie, can you post some Blue Coast information? But I do have... So that record is Meant to Be. And I have CDs. Hello, Dr. Turk. Lillian, your doc's here. Your vet's here. She just turned 9. Because, anyway, I got my hand slapped. But I didn't really. But my shirt's about to come off. So it's not a shirt, it's a dress. Sorry. Hi, little, what's that called? Sorry, hold on. I didn't mean for that to happen. Wardrobe malfunction? I just had a wardrobe malfunction. Hi, Sam. I have 11 CDs. And she's trying to get, it's like I'm breastfeeding or something, but I'm not. And people have asked me how they can donate, send money to me, buy CDs, or put a down payment for a house concert. Wardrobe malfunction, right. Thank you, Gina. Should I button it up to the top? But anyway, I have a Venmo account. It's at -JennaMammina.com or at -Jenna Mammina at Venmo. And then I do have a PayPal, but it's not hooked up, so don't send me any money at PayPal. You can send me a check. You can, but you know, I know you don't have CDs still, but if you want to buy a CD, I'll sell it to you. Hi, Ruth. There, I'm not going to talk about that money thing anymore, because I'm not. Hi, Jay Hunter. Hi, Paul Kemp. I was talking about you tonight. I was talking about our groovy Can't Buy Me Love. Kevin Godfrey, now that was some funny stuff. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to call my friend Mark Ruffin on the phone. Uh-oh, that's why my dog is... You still do have CDs. Okay, well, I'm happy to sell you a CD. And there's a download at Blue Coast Records right now. See, now she's shaking because she doesn't really like sound very much. But it's not letting me FaceTime. So we're going to do... Hello?
Hi, Jenna.
Hi, I can't FaceTime with you. Oh, yes, I can. It turned on. I get to see Mark Ruffin. Are you there?
Yeah, but I don't see you. I'm so bad with modern technology, even though I work at a high-tech place.
I'll tell you what. Can you go to Messenger? And I will call you on Messenger on video.
Messenger.
Because I'm trying to connect you with FaceTime here, and it doesn't seem to be connecting. Hi, Dawn. Check it out. I'm going to hang up here, okay?
Okay, and go to Messenger.
Yep.
Yeah. Video chat. Okay.
Okay. Later. See, we're all learning this together. Did anyone happen to see Kurt Elling tonight? Cocktails with Kurt Elling? That was so cool. I loved it. So it's ringing now. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Julie. What happened to our cooking lesson this morning? Gina. Maybe she could tell you. She's going to be here tomorrow. We rearranged. We're still ringing on Mark. Press the button, Mark. Press the button. Let's try it again. Our cooking lesson didn't happen because she was up playing life with her family till very late into the evening and into the early morning.
I think we're finally on this.
Hey!
Hey!
Hi!
Look at you, all 11:11.
11:11. What's up, Mark Ruffin?
How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm really good.
Good. We have to be. We have to be good.
I'm wearing a Winton shirt tonight and, sending my condolences,
Now, I don't know why I have to be there, but for some reason I'm there, so I'm going to hold you up like that.
Could it be something I'm doing?
No. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my dear friend, Mark Ruffin.
Hey.
I don't even know where to start to say what you do, so I'm going to let you tell people what you do.
Is that why I'm here, to talk about what I do?
We're going to talk about all kinds of things.
Oh, and I lost you.
Hold on. See, I do this. Jimmy Kimmel has a whole thing with a big old video screen and stuff. I use my phone. But that's okay.
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 I am a radio personality, writer, and producer. I could sum it up that way, right? That covers a myriad of things I do. I just try to stay creative as much as I can.
It's a wonderful writer. Where are you a radio guy at?
Sirius XM. I am the program director of the jazz station at Sirius XM, and I am on, and this is really cool, and we've only announced this on line, and they'll announce it soon everywhere else, but we're going to be free to everybody. Everybody will be able to get Sirius XM as long as we're going through this incredible thing. And I guess they're all doing it because I saw HBO is also giving their service for free.
Really? So,
Yeah.
like on my phone, I can get Sirius XM. I can listen to.
I hear it's coming, and it's until I think all of April, which is Jazz Appreciation Month. I have special programming too. You know, in a way, with Sirius XM giving the service out for free, in a way, Jenna, it reminds me of the drug man giving drugs to Candy.
Hey.
Because if you're a music fan, I was a fan of that place before I became an employee, and I heard music. I mean, if you're an R&B fan, if you're a rock fan, they have like 7 or 8 rock stations and a number of R&B stations, and they're lacking in jazz. But hey, we're there filling the void. But the point is, you'll hear stuff you haven't heard in a long time, and it's easy to get hooked. You know, HBO is the same thing. I mean, if you watch some of that, and so yes, we're free.
That's beautiful.
Yes, I agree.
And you are on at what time every day? Monday
3
through
to
Friday?
3 to 6 Eastern Time, all over North America. I wish we could be all over the world like the net, but it's just North America. At least in your cars. I'm not sure about online, but you know, countries have broadcast laws, so you know, we stop at borders depending on the country.
And people are asking how they would get it. Do they go to SiriusXM.com or?
Oh, you know, now are you going to really make? If you go to Real Jazz Facebook page, there's a post on the Real Jazz Facebook page, and the post will tell you everything. You
guys got that Real Jazz Facebook page, and
yes.
Then there's maybe a link there or something.
There's a post, so I know they got something, you know.
Cool.
They've got their social media game together. In fact, I only have a social media game because I work there, okay?
So right now on Facebook Live, people are sending in messages, and you're getting a lot of messages, one being from my brother Mitch, saying hello.
Hey.
And,
you know, people are going to be surprised at our relationship, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, hey Mitch.
Do you know Cookie Marenko?
I know the name.
Well, Cookie is who I did dirty work with.
Whoa.
Yeah. She owns Blue Coast Music and OTR Records out of Belmont, California.
Oh, that's that record that I just played. Remember I told you about? I found the sampler with you on it with, who were you with? An old Wyndham Hill artist. It was a sampler, and you were playing duets with somebody. I can't remember.
Alex DeGrassi.
It may be.
Alex DeGrassi. Cookie produced that at Skywalker Ranch.
Yes. Okay, so yes, I do know the product, and I know the name.
Yes. So there's a lot of people that are, the Mamminas and the Papa is good title for your next record. Oh, that's cute. So there's a lot of people on. How many? Well, right this moment, 22, but there have been as many as 40. People float in and out, you know?
Yep. I'm new to this game. This is my Facebook Live debut. That's what I did to you, Jenna.
Yay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we met in Chicago back in 1999. Something like that.
99?
Yeah.
If you say 99, it's 99.
Maybe earlier.
I thought maybe a little earlier, but I'm not sure.
Maybe, before, it could have been 97, 99, 98.
And it was When were you playing the Green Mill in Chicago?
99, when my first record came out.
Well, there you go. There you go. You're right.
And Patty's record had come out.
Yep.
So when Patricia Barber was on tour, that I owe her so much. Patricia Barber was on tour, which opened up her night at the Green Mill, and I got called in to do many of them with Andre Bush. Yeah, and that's when I met everybody in Chicago. Because I was living in California, but I would come home to Michigan, and then we'd drive to Chicago, and then drive home at 4 in the morning. Well, Mitch would drive home at 4 in the morning. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Yes. But what a full circle we've come with the Green Mill. I'm sure we'll talk about that later, but yes, a full circle.
So tell us anything you want to talk about. You're wearing a Wynton Marsalis shirt right now.
Woo!
Ellis.
Jenna, I've had some of the hardest radio shows I've had to do this week.
I'm sure you have, sir.
And a lot of people forget that for a myriad of reasons that I work for a major corporation, okay? And when bells, whistles, when it's hard to judge which jazz artist is going to get all the major push, it's going to get, making the New York Times is one thing, but making Good Morning America and CNN is a whole nother level. McCoy Tyner, to me, should have been, front page news when he died,
Yes.
Ellis Marsalis, because of the royalty, and Wallace Roney too, the royalty being Miles Davis. I was surprised at the press he got. And whenever something like that happens, it's a lot of work for. I pity the pop people where I work, because the emergency alarm goes off a lot. And you got to get up and you got to get on the bio and you got to be on it when somebody passes. So this week has been kind of hard for me with Wallace passing, and then Bucky Pizzarelli, and of course Mr. Marsalis, and then today Bill Withers, and of course, and a lot of people who think I only lead a jazz life. I mean, man, it always surprises people when I say this. I know more about R&B history than I do jazz. I mean, so when Bill Withers died, and I had an experience with Bill Withers on top of everything this week, it was just my show yesterday. I knew that I had to keep it upbeat. Gosh, it's been emotional lately. First, let me tell you how I found out McCoy Tyner died. It was 2 o'clock, whatever the day it was. It was 5 minutes after 2, after 3, which is when I go on. 5 minutes after 3, my next to last song in my set was on, and my personal phone rings. I look down, and it's Doug Karn. Okay, my song has 2 minutes left before the next song comes on. I said, okay, I answered. Doug, what's up, man? I'm about to start. He said, man, I know you heard McCoy Tyner died. What? I said, okay, wait a minute. Hung up. My song is going off. Go to the computer, look, sure enough, AP right there. I said, oh my God. Doug Karn is one of the huge McCoy Tyner clones. So I immediately went to his song, Passion Dance, 5 minutes, 50 seconds, whatever. And I had to get it together. And when I hit the mic, and people who listen to me since McCoy Tyner died, they get it now, because I was obsessed for weeks with McCoy and been obsessed with him in my life. In fact, when he passed away, again on my Facebook page is a picture of me and McCoy in 1983 or 84. And I choked up on air. It hit me right there. It was like I only had those few minutes. And that was the first time that's ever happened to me in 40 years, ever. So then, yesterday, man, I just kept it upbeat, and listeners are really cool, saying that they appreciated the upbeat nature of it, but this is what we're going through now, is out there. Can I make a point that, because I came up with this, I want to make sure folks know where people say we are in a apocalypse right now. No. The apocalypse happened 3 years ago. It was an orange apocalypse. This is post-apocalyptic. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's bad and it's hard. and more folks are coming. Lesser known folks, if there are musicians, people out there, there's a woodwind player by the name of Janet Grice.
Oh, yeah.
You know Janet Grice?
I know who she is. I don't know her.
Right. Well, she passed away.
Yeah. She was good friends with Rolf, and she played this.
Wow. Oh, in fact, that's how I found out from Ross. That's right.
Yeah. I met her one time. Rolf taught her son, and up at Hof Barthelsen, and we've done 3 concerts up there, and not this last concert, but the concert before. I met her and her son, and so when we hung out for like 15 minutes, so I knew who she was, but I met her briefly. So yes, I knew her. But yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing, and it's life changing, and it's and we're here for it. And
you know, and it was the mayor of San Francisco, one of our favorite haunts, who she was the first politician I heard say something about musician and artists. I didn't hear the New York mayors talk about it until later. I mean, I feel for you guys, man. I saw
Jazz Sawyer just came on.
Who?
Jazz Sawyer.
Tell him I said we just mentioned San Francisco.
Yes, we did.
Because I said San Francisco is why he came on.
And Waldy Christos, my friend from Jamaica, is on, and Jessica Webster Sendra is on, and Dave Love is on.
Hey, Dave. Mm-hmm. Dave, that's a cool moment. Dave and I had the coolest Jenna Mammina moment. We were at a conference, it was the Jazz Congress, right? And I'm sitting in the back, and I'm working, and Dave's back there, and it was this panel, and they put on snippets of new music, and they put on this song, and it was the Sting song,
7 Days.
7 Days, and they all, they rated it first, and then everybody said, anybody knows who it is? And I said, Dave Love was sitting next to me, and I said, I don't know who it is, but she sure is up in Jenna Mammina's ass. And then I said, maybe it's Jenna. And that's who it was. And then Dave texted you right there.
Yeah, you guys did. That was right. That was the year. My dad had died a couple weeks before, and I had planned to go to the conference to release that record, Jenna and the Charmers, and I didn't go, and I was home, and all of a sudden I started getting Renee Marie texted me, Dave texted me, and you called me all in like 3 minutes. I'm like, wow, what's going on? They said they just played your song at the Needle Drop with Dr. Brad Stone.
Yeah.
So
you say all those names, you and I have got so many memories over these 20-something years. But I got a cool one with Dave. I've never been to Austin, and this past, I forgot what holiday it was. My folks all left Chicago, moved to Dallas, and my son was stationed in San Antonio. And so we drove to San Antonio. So I'm driving through Austin, this legendary city I've never been in. I said, I got to call somebody as I'm driving through. And I had a great talk with Dave as I was driving through Austin, Texas, because that's where he lives.
He does, and he's sending you big love right now, and Jessica Sendra's sending love to both you and Dave, and my friend Waldy's in Jamaica in the Blue Fields. One unconditional love every time.
Oh, Dave. Dave and I go back to I remember he had this little bitty office in Seattle. When he first started his record company, he had a Chicagoan on his record company, Henry Johnson. Dave had some cool records back then, and then he blew up and became Mr. Heads Up International.
Mr. Heads Up.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. So what are we supposed to be talking about? What do you do on this show?
This is what we do.
How long have you been doing it?
I think almost maybe 8 or 9 days. I did it a long time ago. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. 11/11 with Jenna. Jessica Webster, Dave Love sends you big love too. You remember Jessica Webster from Borders? She worked for Borders Books. Yeah. And she's on WEMU with Linda Yon. She is still.
Yeah. I do. Yes.
And Jessica Webster loves you, Dave. She loves you. I love you, Jessica. We love you very much. I'll have to get you on the show sometime. Jessica, your show is on Sundays at 3 on WEMU if you want to post a link. So people just float in and out. Dave Love loves you more. If Dave Love can love everybody more because Dave and Ruth have the love. They are the love.
So many memories with Dave Love. Oh my gosh. So many.
I've hung out with Dave and Ruth in Austin, and I'll tell you what. That's some fun.
Yeah.
That's Rolf and I played there, and they came out to the show, and oh, thank you, Jessica. Please post your show so people will know. There I am. I'm on here way too much. So anyway, I've wanted to do this show for a long time, and then I kept saying, oh, but I need to edit, and I need to learn how to edit and get more technology and all this other stuff. 3 on Sundays, Eastern Standard Time, WEMU.org is when Jessica Sender is on. So, and she's in Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor area. The In Crowd on Sundays. Thank you, Jessica, and thank you for doing what you did for so many years. She's part of the whole mix of why I'm still doing this business. That's, people say, you're still making records? I go, yeah, and I still have to make CDs, right, Mark? We have to make CDs. Because you like to hold them, DJs, it's a tangible, it's here, it's got to be made, and I love to make them, and we're going to continue to make them and do stuff online, and so anyway, getting back to why I do this, I do it because it's a way to connect with people, and a way to connect with my music, and my mom comes on the show, and and I get to have people like you, my friends, and I get to connect you with my friends everywhere. So
you have so many friends. Jenna, it's amazing. No matter where I could be in the world, I'm running to somebody who knows Jenna. Okay, and it's just you're an amazing spirit.
Thank you. Then Dave Love just said, Jessica and Mark and you are jazz royalty. Well, Dave Love, if we're the jazz royalty, you're part of it too, man.
Yeah. We're peons. He actually made some money.
Yeah. And he's.
Again, Jenna, you and I have had so many experiences. I was so surprised that you had this going, and the title shook me up. Do you talk to people about the title of this show? Sometimes,
but why don't you talk about it?
Gladly. Please pay attention. For years, folks, I've had this thing with 1111. I've kept it to myself for years. It would show up, pop up in out of nowhere. And for a while, also 924, which is my birthday.
Mine's 1024. That's my other number.
Stop it.
My mom and I call each other 1024, 1024, and my brother Nino and I 1111, 1111. My sister, everybody. Oh yeah, my whole life.
Okay, Jenna is scary, guys. So, I've never said anything to anybody. It's kind of freaked me out. And for a long time freaked me out. The first person I ever really talked about it with was she was my girlfriend and then now my wife, Valerie. And for years I would tell her, I said, look, 1111. She would, you're making that up or you're looking at the clock. For years. And one day when Jenna and I were talking about the project, Jenna, we've been working on this project so long it's ridiculous, okay? We were talking about this project in my apartment, and Valerie was part of the conversation.
I love Valerie. Hi, Valerie.
Yes, Valerie's amazing. And we were just talking. I'll never forget, I was standing against the refrigerator, and you said something. I looked at the clock. I said, Valerie, look, it's 11:11. And Jenna Mammina said to me, oh, you're an 11:11 person too? I was like, what? What are you talking about? I had never ever. It was something I've kept to myself. And I mean, for 10 years, it's amazing. Because it just seemed freaky to me, and I just thought it was me. I wasn't going to share it. And then when Jenna said that to me, she was the first person I had heard talk about it. From then on, I started seeing other things online. I think you told me go online, and there's different meanings with it. Whatever it is, I am. It happened today, twice. I could be anywhere, and 11:11, or even on a building, anywhere. And who knows the answers to life? But no one can tell me what I'm what I'm feeling and what I feel about it is not right because it's just weird. I can't get to it. Jenna gave me some of the best explanations of why it happens. As I recall, some of it is at that moment you're doing the right thing, or a spirit is with you. It's an amazing thing.
Confirmation from your spirit that you're on the right path.
Yes, I get it a lot, and it was good to know that other people do too.
Yes.
And it was Jenna Mammina who woke me up to that fact.
I'm surprised. My phone usually, I turn it off now. I don't even know if it's off, but I get texts, 11, 11, 11, 11. It's part of my comfort. And so I just thought I had to stop and not wait for perfection in doing this. And because I do have ideas of taking it to a bigger level, but right now I'm in my 23rd day of quarantining, and I need my people. I need to have some connection, and this is a way. I mean, we're talking to people in Bluefields in Jamaica right now, in Michigan, and California, and New York, and London, and it's helping me in my day. Makes my day better, and to have you here tonight and to hear your stories. Clayton Call, amazing photographer, just got on right now. Lee Corby Wells, all these people are coming in from all over the place. And for those of you that are just coming on, this is Mr. Mark Ruffin. He is the radio programmer and jazz DJ for Sirius XM, Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 Eastern, and the Fusion Show on Sunday at 5.
And he just let us know that Sirius XM is going to be free to everybody through April.
And into early May.
Into early May.
Yeah.
Yeah, people keep floating in and out, and I want them to know, and that to listen to you, and you're writing a book right now.
Ooh, yes.
Or did you finish?
Oh, I'm done. Oh,
He's
my
done.
God.
He's done with the book.
Ooh, that's heavy. What do I say about the book? The title. The title says a lot, and also leads to a lot of questions from folks because.
Hi, Dave Tweedy.
Pardon?
My friend Dave Tweedy, a drummer from LA, from Oakland originally, just got on. A lot of people. What number on Sirius?
67.
67.
What's that photo behind you? It looks like Pam Grier.
It's not Pam Grier. It's just this cute little girl that I found. Hi, Dave Tweedy. So my friend Waldy is in Jamaica. He just said, don't worry about a thing. For every little thing is gonna be all right. Waldy, I would love for you to come on sometime. So let's talk on Messenger.
Well, tell Waldy that on our station, Sirius XM 67, we have a famous Jamaican on weekends. His name is Dermot Hussey. In fact, he just got knighted or got a special honor from the Jamaican government. But legendary jazz Jamaican guy is on every Sunday on Real Jazz.
Really? What time on Sundays?
He is on 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. That's Eastern time. He's also syndicated on some show in Jamaica, but I don't know. But he's jazz royalty. I've seen pictures of him with Miles Davis hanging out in Jamaica. He co-wrote a book on Bob Marley. Legendary guy. And in fact, I talked to Monty Alexander, who is doing this very same thing you're doing tomorrow at 4 p.m. He wants me to tell everybody he's doing the same thing tomorrow at 4 on his Facebook page. But Monty knows Dermot's legend in Jamaica on our station.
Hey, what my friend Waldy knows the name. So back to your book. So what's the title of Mark's book? I'm getting from people. What's the title of the book? I know the story. It's fabulous. It's a great story.
A lot of people are surprised I'm writing fiction, and there's a story behind that. The book is called Bebop Fairy Tales, a historical fiction trilogy on jazz, intolerance, and baseball. Bebop Fairy Tales, a historical fiction trilogy on jazz, intolerance, and baseball. And this is my first interview about the book. Go ahead, Supreme Interviewer.
No, please tell. I don't even know where to start with that one. I know about it, but I don't want to give any of the story away.
Yeah, so I realized I have to tell a little bit, so I put a little information on but I have my elevator speech. You want me to tell the 3 stories?
I do, but where you are sitting right now,
yep.
Can you come a little bit closer and come to your left?
Go to my left, that way?
Nope.
The other way.
Yeah. Because my dog's behind us over here.
Want me to turn off some light? Or
on? If you want, because it is a little bright.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
It's up. Try it. Check it out. Let's see what happens if you do. And he and his wife have the coolest apartment. Ooh. I want to know where in your apartment you are right now.
Downstairs.
Way in the back.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So, downstairs in the lower part of the apartment.
Okay.
Right at the stairs. Since
crazy.
My folks, my job is amazing. I can control the satellite from a computer in my basement and do my show live, which blows my mind. But
so you're not even you're not going to the studio anymore. You're going.
Oh no, I'm doing from right in this chair. It is an amazing thing.
Far out, man. That's great.
Okay, the book.
Okay, the book.
The book consists of 3 stories, as the title alludes to. 3 short stories of fiction. And again, it's a story there is a story about how this all came about. But each story is named after a song, a very famous song. The first story is called Saturday Night Fish Fry. I hope some of you know that song. The second story is called Round Midnight with the Ku Klux Klan. And the third story is called The Sidewinder. And as the subtitle of the book also suggests, the plots interchange between jazz, intolerance. I've come up with the main theme of the book about intolerance is that it is stupid. That's the main theme there. And there's jazz in each of the stories, and baseball progresses. There's no jazz, no baseball in the first story, some in the second story, and a lot in the last story, and jazz throughout. So, like I said, it's historical fiction. The first story, Saturday Night Fish Fry, is a fictitious tale about the meeting between Bob Fosse, the great dancer, and Gene Ammons, the great saxophonist, in post-World War II New Orleans. The story was inspired by a wonderful evening I got to spend with Bob Fosse's ex-wife, Gwen Verdon. What a wonderful woman she was. And anyway, this story is about, and like I said, it's historical fiction. I really studied Bob Fosse's life. And in the story, he's on leave from the Navy. And in the story, I talk about Joe Papp being his station chief. Wow. Joe Papp really was Bob Fosse's station chief in the Navy. Crazy. And in the story, he's on leave from the Navy. Gene Ammons just got kicked out of the Billy Eckstine Bebop Band. They had Dexter Gordon and Charlie Parker and Art Blakey. And Billy Eckstine was pissed at Gene Ammons and left him in New Orleans. Gene Ammons and Bob Fosse are both from Chicago. This tale is about how they all got together in this crazy tale in a park. It starts in a park. They meet a crazy family. This family of white rich people decides to help Gene Ammons get to Memphis and to Chicago. He wanted to get back home, and Bob Fosse is part of this. Gosh, I wish I had my 5-minute speech together. But anyway, they end up with this incredible journey into Memphis at the Peabody Hotel. And if you know anything about the Peabody Hotel, there are ducks involved at the Peabody Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. Do you know anything about the Peabody
Well,
Hotel?
I've watched the Ducks.
Yes, I've actually stayed in the penthouse, so I got to watch them go up. And like I said, I had to do research for this.
So can I ask you? Can I interrupt really quickly? Did you
Yep.
wake up one day and go, "I have an idea for a book, and it's going to be
No.
about jazz and I mean,
Oh God, Jenna. Inspiration is something, and my friend Renee Marie did this to me.
Renee Marie, I love Renee Marie.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Renee
Oh,
Marie.
We have so many great Renee Marie stories. So, but when I told Renee this story, she said, "Okay, well, first let me tell you the story." So, how it all started. This is not the first book; it's the second book. The second book came to me fully formed. And I mean fully formed, and it would beat me up, and the story just developed in my head. It's amazing. And I've been working on the first book for 15 years, and the second book wouldn't leave me alone. When I said that to Renee Marie, she said, "Well, that's the one you better watch out for, the one that won't leave you alone. That inspiration is the one. That's it. That's the money." So when I talked to Valerie about it, Valerie said, "Wait a minute. You've been working on this book for 15 years, and you want to start another one without..." So then I thought about it. So I said, okay, well, let me get this down because it's amazing how it came fully formed. And I wrote the outline, Jenna. The outline was 63 pages. Okay.
Were you typing? Were you writing?
Typing. Oh, I typing, and I had to get it out, otherwise I wouldn't remember. It's amazing. And I go to bed with stories in my head, and I've been doing that for over 40 years. So that is how it kept growing and growing. And that book, I want to tease people because if you're anybody from Toronto, love the title of my story, the book. It is called Obama on Rosedale. Rosedale is the tiniest part of Toronto, and it's such an incredible story. I won't even go there because I got to get the first book. Okay, so but that is you asked the question, did I just wake up and there was a book? No, that's never happened until what's coming. So I know I got a second book coming because that book that story just kicked my ass. I don't want to get into it because I'm still on the first book.
I love you, man.
Thank you. So the first story is Very Wild Romp. The second story is very interesting. I would have been finished with the book 3 years sooner had not an employee of Zachary Quinto, the actor. You know who he is?
I do not.
Well, he's Spock in Star Trek. And
I don't watch Star Trek. I think I need to start watching Star Trek. I've never watched Star Trek in my whole life.
Well, this guy's the new Spock, not Leonard. He's not Leonard Nimoy, of course.
Does he have ears though? Does he do the ear
Pardon?
thing? Does he do the ear thing?
Yes, and
Okay.
most people know me as in a TV show called Heroes. I had never heard of him when this employee called Beyond the Door Productions, I think, they got a hold of one of my stories through the movie crowd that I hang with in New York, and they went crazy over it, and they asked me, they were going to option it, and I turned the money down. I said, no, I want to write the screenplay. And for 2.5 years, we worked on the screenplay, so I actually have a screenplay of the second story, too. The first story that I told, that's about 100 pages. This story is about 55 pages. It's called Round Midnight with the Ku Klux Klan. And it takes place in 1957 is actually when the story peaks. 1957 is where it opens in Enterprise, Mississippi, with a white 30-something banker who has always been unsure of his sexuality, who is still a virgin, and was bullied and teased as a youth by his sadistic father, who was a minor league pitcher and a successful bootlegger, and by the neighborhood kids who called him sissy and stuff. And through a fluke, he became a baseball hero. He got a job at the Enterprise Bank, and so that's the backstory. And the bank sends him to New York City for a conference. Now, I told you his father was a bootlegger, so he drunk a lot. And he was walking through Alphabet City past the club, Oh, I can't believe it. I can't. Five Spot. The Five Spot. And Thelonious Monk was playing it. He heard it. He's like, whoa. And he went in the club. And, Monk would get up and Monk would dance. And so when Monk started dancing, this drunk guy got up and he danced a little. And he was seduced by a very, very James Baldwin-like character who taught him about his sexuality, who taught him about black pride, because his father also owned land and had sharecroppers, and he was telling this white guy how he couldn't use the N-word. Taught him so much in that weekend. They had a fabulous weekend, went to record stores and bought music and everything. And then the black guy realized he couldn't send them back to Enterprise, Mississippi, like that. And he told him, watch what you do. You can't go like that. And everything was fine until the records came. They were mail order records. And it was Monk. And then it leads to an adventure with the Ku Klux Klan. I've already told a lot. It leads to an adventure with the Ku Klux Klan. How he gets there is the story. And that story was inspired by a couple of things. I have a friend named Terry who has some Mississippi adventures that are unbelievable. And also Pananica. You know Pananica. They've written songs by Nicka's Dream is for her. Monk wrote Pananica for her. There's other songs. She was a very rich baroness in Europe who heard Thelonious Monk, and it changed her life. And that's kind of what my story is based on, how hearing Thelonious Monk one time can change your life. So that's the second story. And it's about 50 pages. The third story is called The Sidewinder. It is the massive epic. It is about 155 pages. It is a sweeping story that has a number of subplots. It's on the whole a love story, a love letter to Philadelphia. It is
I love Philadelphia.
The Sidewinder is Lee Morgan's famous song, and it's amazing the companies, like people don't know that Chrysler Corporation 1965 used Lee Morgan's song in the World Series, and a lot of things happened in the history of that song. So I intertwine that with all the amazing things that happened in 1964 and 65. Dr. King got the Nobel Peace Prize. Nelson Mandela went to jail first year. I mean, so many things happened. Muhammad Ali changed his name. Sam Cooke got killed. A million things happened in 64 and 65. And my story intertwines around the lives of a young white kid, preteen Jewish kid from Philadelphia, and a young black kid from Philadelphia, and how their lives intertwine around that song and around the 1964 Philadelphia Phillies. And our friend Walter Beach is a hero of this the story, and I would not give it away after that. You know who Walter Beach is?
I'm sorry.
Gail Boyd's husband.
You know what? Gail Boyd is here. She's on. I just saw that at like 20,
That's so funny.
20 seconds ago when you're saying that name. I'm like, and is he from Michigan originally?
That's right. His book is really good. Right when you said that, images of his book, reading his book came in my head. But he's also a member of 1964. Now, this is a freaky thing about inspiration. So I had this story about the Phillies, and if baseball fans are going to love this story, the 1964 Phillies had one of the biggest dives in baseball history. So on this certain date in September, I was reading, there's a lot of history. David Halberstam wrote a book about baseball in 1964, okay? And at one point at a football game, the Phillies were about to go out of first place when when people at a football game were reacting to the baseball game. So I'm like, whoa, that has to be interesting. They had a football game, but everyone's listening to the baseball game. I look at the game, Jenna, and it's the Cleveland Browns, a game that Walter Beach is not only in, it's a game where he has one of the best games of his career. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to work this in. And so I worked this amazing story. My editor, one or two editors just finished it because the other two stories are been around for a long time. Other two editors they're like, whoa, what a massive sweep. And I was insecure about it until people read it. And baseball fans are just going to light up. And Lee Morgan fans. So like I said, some history about Lee Morgan. So those are the three stories.
I love watching you and listening to you talk about it.
Well, I thought about doing an audiobook too, but if it wasn't for my job,
You need to do an audiobook.
If it wasn't for my job, I would have finished this book 12 years ago. And can I talk about the story about how it came about? Which
Of course.
Great.
I just want to tell you that Ruth Love says goodnight and that she loves you.
Oh, tell Ruth I love her too. I had a good time with her at the Grammy Awards one time with her and Dave.
She's so much fun.
In fact, I was sitting with Renee, and it was me who introduced Renee to Dave, and before I knew it, Dave was managing Renee.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, I love Renee Marie.
That's how that started.
So they want to know the name of the book again because it sounds amazing. My friend Ellen says, tell us the name of the book again. It sounds amazing.
Bebop Fairy Tales.
Bebop Fairy Tales.
Yep, that's the short title.
So do you want to talk about what we're going to do?
Sure.
Whenever we do it, we'll do it.
God.
It's going to happen.
I could write a book on
Just
this.
the story of that. Because Renee Marie's going to be... Oh, and did you watch Kurt tonight? Kurt had a nice cocktail party going on.
Wow, no.
And he played stuff from his new record with Danilo and Heidi. But, yeah. See, we could be here all night, or you could come back.
Okay, yes. Because how long do you do this for?
However, there's people here. Time is not time anymore. Day is not day, night. I haven't even, I might have dinner tonight still maybe, or I'll be up till 2 or 3, so I'm here. My hand is, I just sit here and hold the phone. I need a little thing to hold my phone.
So we have so many stories, Jenna. Okay, we will tell the story about what we're doing.
We don't have to talk about that tonight. Just,
No, yes, we do. We have an audience. Yes, we do.
Because I want you to come back. We could, you know what? We'll tell that the next time. How about you come back next week and we could talk about what we're going to do next week?
Okay. Can we tell the Angela Davis story, though?
Of course. Julie, my friend Julie just ate dinners. Yeah, if everybody's telling me they eat dinner at 3 o'clock or they eat it. I have lunch at 4 in the afternoon, so my dinner's not till... So it's like we're in Spain, but we're not. We're everywhere. Everyone's everywhere, and everyone's time is off, and...
I was supposed to be in California tonight because the NEA Jazz Masters was in San Francisco this year for the first time. It was Thursday night. We were supposed to be there.
My mom's texting. If you see on my text at the top, my mom says, "Tell him I want to read his book."
Oh, I'm so excited! I'm so excited.
Are you going to self-publish this?
Yes, I wasn't. I was gonna look. My whole plan was, in fact, like I said, if I told the genesis of how it all came about, I had a plan, and when it all finally came together, I thought I could get a publisher, but one, publishing is in such bad straits. And then I talked to a Harvard Business School professor who convinced me to do it myself, mostly, Jenna, because I talk to so many people every day.
Yeah, I would have gone on that boat too. You can do it yourself. I mean, just like putting out your own records and making it work.
Well, I've never put out a record before. I've always avoided the business part. I've always worked for a singer who had their own thing, or a musician, or and I just never put out a book. So I finally started. I had to start a business. I have a LLC for the first time in my life. I've avoided that for 30 years, but not anymore.
I hear you.
Yep.
So you'll publish it. Will it be? And then we'll be able to. You're going to order it as you make them. One of those.
From what I understand, Amazon makes it so easy.
Yes.
Yeah. I've learned in good and bad about Amazon. The bad is they take so much money.
Correct.
Whereas other people, they take less money. But Amazon has the advantage of I can order as many books as I want, and they're right there, and they own like it's some crazy number. 40% of all the physical book sales go through Amazon, and over 65% of all digital goes through Amazon.
Wow.
So,
I've never bought anything on Amazon.
Congratulations.
But I've received packages of love from Amazon. So, but
Amazon saved my ass back when we first met in about 2000. Something else I resisted for a long time was reviewing records. My journalistic career I was so lucky. I was a Chicago Magazine editor, so I didn't have to review records or review artists. That's how I remained friends with so many of you guys for so many years. I didn't have to.
Right.
And then Amazon says in 2000, right after I lost the job at WBEZ, they approached me, would I review records? I said, I don't review records. They said, for I think something like 150 words, we'll give you $200. I said,
I review records.
And they let me go for a long time. And to this day, you can see records from back there that I reviewed that, yes, they saved my ass back then.
Hey, that's... They used to sell my record. My first 2 records, I had them on Amazon, but they would... Let me explain how they would do it. They would notify me and say that someone had ordered my record, but they wouldn't tell you who it was. And you would they didn't hold content. So I would package up one Under the Influence or package up one Meant to Be, send it to Amazon, and then Amazon would send it to the person.
Someone else complained to me about that. They said that's another problem with Amazon.
Because you don't know who it is that ordered it.
Yes, you won't find out who you sell to.
Right.
Right.
And I was, like every other day I was sending something to Amazon for quite a while, which was cool. But, I felt like, all the paper and all the bubble wrap and stuff. But that was one way of being. And then people tell me, I just bought one of your records. Hi, Tina Wu. I just bought one of your records on Amazon. And I go, I didn't even know it was. But I guess that's through other people now. I don't know how to do it. But I'm happy that you're self-publishing it. And when it comes out, we'll talk about it here then too.
Okay. I wish we should have talked. Now I feel bad. We should have talked about our project.
No, not at all. We will. No, because then you can come back.
Okay.
So, would you like to tell your
There's so many stories with you. What story do we want to tell?
Well, I loved what you wrote today on Facebook.
Oh, but that wasn't about you. But okay. So 2 quick ones. Jenna and I were in SF Jazz Center.
Oh.
Sitting down.
Oh. Who are we seeing again?
Diane Reeves and Yvonne Lins.
Right.
Yvonne Lins. Oh my God. And
Diane Reeves.
And it was my wife's ticket, but she couldn't go, so Jenna was in San Francisco, and we're sitting there eating, and Angela Davis walks in.
She did.
And Jenna says, "That's Angela Davis." I said, "No." She said, "Mark, going over there and talk to her." I said, "I am not going over there and talk to Angela Davis." And we both were so starstruck. It was so funny. And as we're sitting there, Diane Reeves' piano player, Peter Martin, walks in, and the first thing he does is walks right over to Angela Davis. And they hug like they're old friends and everything. I said, "Oh, Jenna, we're going to meet Angela Davis." And he comes over to us and says hi. I said, "Man, we want to meet Angela Davis." He said, "No, after the show, you guys will meet her. Her and Diane are really cool." So after the show, Peter took me up to her, and I don't get starstruck at a lot of people, but Angela, I was a young radical, so she meant a lot. And he walked up to her, and he said, "This is Mark Ruffin." And she says, "Not the Mark Ruffin I listen to every day." I was like, "Oh my God." And I blushed like a little boy. And usually that doesn't happen to me, but, and Jenna and I were right there, and we both met Angela Davis. It was a very cool moment, wasn't it?
And I took a photograph.
Yes, that's right. It made Yvonne Lynn seem so insignificant.
But it's Yvonne Leans.
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah, that was a good night. Thank you again for inviting me to that. We've done so many different moments like that. I couldn't remember what show it was, and
Yeah. You could thank Valerie for that one, but
where is Valerie?
She's sleeping. I'm already too late. And okay, so what was the last story I was supposed to tell? Yeah, we got off track thinking about Angela Davis.
You could tell any story you want.
Well, next time we do have to talk about.
We will. But I'd love for you to come back. And you were mentioning, too, that you are going to do a Facebook Live event. You said...
No. Monty Alexander is doing one tomorrow at 4 p.m. He just wanted me to tell people about it. And,
right. But you had mentioned, you said this is your first because you're going to be doing something else sometime?
No.
Okay.
No, this is just my first. I just figured... I just figured it won't be my last, that other people will ask because it's the new thing to do, you know?
How about, I'm just going to throw this out there. What if you came on Friday nights?
Oh, Friday nights are so bad. What nights? Friday nights are so bad for me.
Okay.
Well, you do this every night?
I do it every night and every morning.
Wow. Well, we definitely will go for the night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Early in the week?
Sure.
It's much better than late in the week.
Yeah, Patty Cathcart's going to be on sometime next week. Tuck and Patty. And
what day is that?
We haven't figured that out yet. And also, if anybody else wants to come on or has an idea, oh, good night, Dave Love. Nighty-night. We love you. Bye-bye. He's saying good night to you, Mark. See, everybody's writing little notes. They're flowing by. I see who's on and who's off. But you could pick the night, and you don't have to pick it now. But Dave Love, I want you on this show, too.
Gosh, Dave Love has so much to talk about.
I know.
He got so many stories about South Africa, about the record business, about the corporate record business, the independent record business, his failed career as a trumpeter. Oh, is he still on?
I don't know. Dave Love, are you still here? I didn't know he played trumpet.
I think it was a trumpet, yes. I think North Texas. I'm almost certain North Texas State, too.
Makes sense. I don't know if he's still here. But there's 10 people here, and I'm not sure exactly who's here. That's the one thing you don't see. But Gail Boyd was here earlier, and I hope if she didn't hear that. And I would love to have Gail on, too. I would love anybody that wants to come on. There's lots of 11-11s every day and every night.
You know the Gail Boyd story about Jerry Butler, the great R&B singer? You know that story?
No.
Gail Boyd was just out of law school in Chicago. You know, she and I are from the same hometown.
Yeah.
And she worked in the same building as Jerry Butler, the great R&B singer, who at the time was working with Terry Collier, by the way. And she went up to him and said, sir, that she wanted to learn the record business.
I remember.
And that is how, and for a very reduced rate, she did legal work for Jerry Butler, and that's how she got into the music business. She could fill in all the little blanks, but basically that's how it started.
Maybe I'll get 2 phones here sometime, and I'll have Gail on this hand and you on the other hand, and I'll just sit here in the middle and listen to you talk. So many stories. So many stories.
Oh my gosh, Jenna, so many.
We have fun. Can you tell that we always get together? We go, yeah, let's get together and work, and then we're like, 3 hours later.
How about the Renee Marie story? That's a crazy story. How you met Renee Marie?
It's a great story. So it was at that same conference that you referenced that you heard my music at, and at the same
event, but a different year.
It's a couple, like 3 years earlier, Rolf and I had just come out with our first record, and it's a panel called Needle Drop, where you submit your record, and Brad Stone and Jay Hunter, who was here earlier tonight, pick 10, 12, I don't know how many they pick, songs to review with a panel of radio programmers, 4 or 5 programmers from all over the country. And Brad will sit there and he'll say, okay, and this next artist their record is coming out in April of 2018. And they don't say who it is. They just play 40 seconds of the song.
About?
And then each of the panelists who are programmers will say, I love it. I won't play it, but I love it. I don't like it, but I will listen to it. You know, they have all their reasons because they have a certain protocol for their station. And Rolf and I had just come out with our first record, like I said, and I kind of knew that they were maybe going to play it, but I didn't know when. And all of a sudden it starts. And I'm like, and there's like 500 plus people in the room, and I'm going, shit, what if they hate it? What if they just hate, and they're going to sit there and rip it up. And I'm look over at this woman, she's sitting next to me, and she has these really cool shoes on, super cool shoes on. And I go, I love your shoes. And she goes, girl, I love your shoes. I didn't know who she was. And then the song starts. And then she's sitting there like digging it. She goes, I love, and it was me. It was Rolf and my song, I don't even remember what they played. But she's like, ooh. 40 seconds of Renee Marie loving my song with Rolf, and I think I I don't know. But
Did you know it was Renee?
No, I had no idea.
Right.
No, because she had a hat on and she had these cool shoes on. I was just looking at her shoes and listening to her go, girl, sing this song. And then they asked, does anybody know who it is? And then someone, maybe you or somebody, yells out, Jenna Mammina. She goes, I love Jenna Mammina. And I looked at her and I go, who are you? And she said, I'm Renee Marie. I go, I'm Jenna Mammina. We both were like, oh my God! And we hugged right there. We'd never met before. After that, we hung out with Henry Butler. We were hanging out with you. There was this like major love fest going on. And then she's been to San Francisco, and we've gone to dinner and hung out. Her son was living in San Francisco for a while. Oh yeah, Miss Renee Marie is my heart.
Did you hear her son's record?
No.
Oh my gosh. She sent this to me, wanted me to judge it, check it out. It's so Hootie and the Blowfish good.
It's always about the shoes.
It is. She comes from Virginia, and that mix of country soul, R&B, gospel, bluegrass thing, that Hootie, and that. I mean, this guy is so in that Dave Matthews, Charlottesville. It was so good, I couldn't believe it. I was like, you wanted to ask me if this was good? The problem is, how do you break it? How do you sell stuff like that nowadays? But boy, her son was smoking. Michael Crumman, I think is his name.
He's a sweet man. Yeah, I met him I picked her up somewhere. Did I pick her up at the airport? Or I picked her up at her son's. No, I picked her up at her son's, and then we went to dinner, and we talk on the phone. But we've talked about, she's still hip to be a part of the project we'll talk about next time.
Yeah. Okay, one more story about her. How about you? Did you know this story about her mom? When she was young, they would go grocery shopping, and her mom would have 2 baskets, and they fill this other basket sometimes. And then when they're on the way home, her mom would stop at the house and tell her to go knock on the door and leave the basket there, and run back so they don't see you. She would, and Renee didn't get it till she was older. She was shopping for poor folks and leaving it for them without letting them know who was doing it. Right?
Beautiful.
Isn't that's why she is who she is.
Well, her mother taught her right, and she learned a lot from her because
Right.
she has that true heart. She
Yep.
does.
Okay, so we didn't talk about our project, so we have to.
That's okay.
Okay.
But I can't imagine how it was for you to be on the radio this week because I could barely talk. Because, Bucky and I were good friends.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay, I know a story I want to tell. So I'm in the middle of the ocean, just this past February, and I'm talking to this woman, and I forgot what I was talking about, but I bring up Jenna's name, and this woman says to me, "You know Jenna Mammina? Well, she and I grew up together with my father. My father, her father, and her father is Gene Harris,
Yes,
the
sir.
piano player. Nikki." I said, "Nikki, you didn't hit me." "Oh, Gene Harris did grow up in Michigan. Oh my gosh!" And
Gene Harris learned how to play piano on my grandparents' piano. And my dad has great stories about Gene where he would say there was a piano in their classroom. And whenever they were having a test, my dad would say, Gene, go play the piano. And Gene would be like, no, they were in like third, fourth grade. Gene, go play the piano. And then my dad would go, Sister Mary Ellen or whoever it was, is it okay if Gene, oh yeah, have Gene play one song. Well, Gene would play, and then they wouldn't do the test till the next day. But I grew up with Nikki. We were in school together. I went to Lake Michigan Catholic, and she went to Benton Harbor High. And her mom, Ann, and her sisters, and I've known her my whole life.
That's amazing.
But that just happened, right? You mentioned you're like, I met a woman in the middle of the ocean the other day that knows you from elementary school. Like, oh. And she sang with Madonna forever.
What gets me is how you and I have been friends for so long, and you never told me that your father grew up with Gene Harris.
They were very good friends.
That's amazing. You're an amazing woman, Jenna.
Thank you, Mark Ruffin. You're an amazing man. I love you.
I love you too. So we have to talk about and the only reason we're not working on our project now, I want to wait till the book got finished, and then it finally gets finished. I'm all gearing up, and this happens.
This is what it is, and we'll do it. I have to do. I listen all the time.
Oh, and we're ready, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are certainly ready.
We're ready.
Okay, Jenna Mammina, I'm going to...
Mark Ruffin, thank you very much. Mark Ruffin is on Sirius XM 67, number 67, from 3 to 6 every day, Monday through Friday. And for those of you that came on late, Sirius XM Radio is free the month of April into sometime in May for everybody. So
everybody.
Check it out. Go online and check out.
You can go to Sirius XM to the Real Jazz Facebook page, and there should be a link there. A couple of posts down.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jenna. Oh my God. Bye, Jenna.
Thank you very much. I'll see you. We'll talk.
Okay, absolutely.
Okay. I love you, man.
I love you
and
too.
Valerie too.
Yep. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm trying to turn it off. Turn it off. How do I turn it off? Oh, there it is. Wow, wasn't that fun? There's 11 people here right now. Thank you all so much for being here. I loved people floating in and coming back. We were on for a long time tonight, and we'll do it again. Mr. Mark Ruffin, incredible. He has a book coming out. In case you didn't, text you the info. I can. You mean the info for Sirius XM? I'll try to look it up tonight because it's 12:30 and I'm awake and it's Friday night. Eggs tomorrow morning. Yep. We're going to learn how to cook eggs in a regular pan, not a non-stick pan, but a regular pan with Chef Jenna Mammina tomorrow. And we'll go from there. Need to check out the book and the series. Yeah. He's wonderful. His programming is so great, and his shows are just, they're always something new. And I learned, because he'll tell a story about every song pretty much, or you can call up and he'll say while the song's playing, oh, that song with Wallace is this person and this person, Renee Marie and Jenna Mammina, and he's been a huge support to my music. I'm just so grateful that he was here tonight, and I'm so grateful that all of you were here tonight. And I will put a little, let's see. Laugh it off if you can. Out of sight, out of mind and hand. It will come back again like a long lost friend. Though you try your best to distract yourself, you just can't hide. Turn away, say no more. Cheat yourself, but the truth cuts to the core. So many weeks can pass without a chance, then the light comes tumbling through. Take the time to ask, then you will grasp the peace that's inside you. And the days fly by and the nights just never end. You must look inside to find that place within. No more tears for a while. When you find your inner smile. Hasta mañana. Good night. Thanks for being here.